here at or from Lakeland, and I'm just so proud to continue to be a part of this school. My experience was amazing, but what made it so great was the incredible amount of support that I received along the way from faculty and staff. So in this webinar, you're going to get to hear from a variety of our support staff that's available to assist students and learn more about some of the services that are exclusively available for our Lakeland students. Our support staff wants you to be successful, and we're here for you every step of the way. So before we get started, we do have some housekeeping things just to go over quickly. So just a reminder to please turn your camera and microphone off, and that way we don't get any feedback and hopefully don't experience any lagging in the session. If you have a question, you can use the raise your hand icon, and it's located on the top of the video session here. It's the hand that looks like that. And we're going to try to answer questions after each person talks if there's enough time. And you'll also get a chance to ask questions at the end of the entire session. And I want to remind you that this webinar is being recorded. I haven't pushed the record button yet, but oh, it is recording. Thanks, Shelley, I think. While participating in the webinar, you have the option to remain anonymous by muting your microphone, keeping your camera turned off, and logging in as a guest. And if you look in the chat, I've posted the full FOIP statement if you have any concerns, so please read the statement. So I want to start by introducing you to our counseling and wellness supports. As I was saying earlier, I'm the wellness advisor. And in this role, I essentially get to work as a life coach for students. And I work with students one-on-one or in groups to help them build on or learn skills in the various dimensions of wellness. So this includes issues that affect your physical, mental, social, emotional, financial, or spiritual wellness. I do so many things with students. Just so, for example, maybe you're having a conflict with your roommate, or maybe you're looking for strategies or for conflict resolution, or you're looking for ways to eat healthy on a budget, or looking for strategies to help you relax when you're feeling anxious. I'm just somebody that's available to work with students and find a solution to your needs or goals. I can also provide you with referrals to community services and other internal Lakeland services that can assist you in achieving your goal. I'm kind of like a good starting point. Maybe you know that you need some sort of assistance, but you're not really sure who to connect with. I'm sort of a good point of contact to come, and I can help sort of pave that way for you. Oh, I also run a whole bunch of events and activities on campus that just focus on increasing your wellness. And then, so that's what I do in this role, but I just very briefly want to touch on our counseling services. We didn't have anybody available to come for the morning session, but we have 2 registered psychologists that are available to support students on the Lloyd campus and the Vermilion campus. So we have Elise, who is the counselor on Vermilion, and Chantel is the counselor on the Lloyd campus, and they provide one-on-one mental health support to students. These services, like mine, are 100% free and confidential. They can provide you with support for your mental health and can address issues like excessive worries, conflict resolution, emotional regulation, addictions, relationship changes. The Canadian Mental Health Association tells us that in any given year, 1 in 5 people in Canada will personally experience a mental health problem or illness. So certainly if you are one of those people and you have an existing diagnosis, our counselors are available to assist you. And it's very easy to book an appointment with us. We are truly just a phone call away. We all carry cell phones. Students can text us at any time to set up appointments. So we are all on campus and we're here to support you. I don't know if anybody has any questions for counseling and wellness services. Let me just see. Okay, so if you have questions, please let us know. I'll give you another chance to ask us questions at the end. We're going to keep moving along. So the next you're going to hear from Shelly, and she's going to give an introduction to our Indigenous support services.
Hello, everybody. My name is Shelly Puwapskonius. I'm the Indigenous Support Services Manager here at Lakeland College. I work on both campuses, offering transitional support services to all the Indigenous students that attend our campuses, either face-to-face or online. Similar to what Sarah's role is, I offer those supports for students that are dealing with anything from personal life problems to living with roommates, working with your families that live away from where you're going to school. I also help students connect with elders and knowledge keepers within the area. We have great resources that we like to pull out to our elders and residents or the local knowledge keepers in the area to help students feel supported, because it's really hard when you leave your community to come to school, to feel like you're over here at Lakeland College, kind of like working on your own. But that's not the case. All you need to do is reach out to me or to anybody at Lakeland just to let us know like what it is that you're needing in order to make your stay here at Lakeland be successful and comfortable, because we want to make sure that you're succeeding. So working with the on-campus Indigenous Student Committee, we also make sure that there are cultural activities and events that we host throughout the year. Each campus is a little bit different because the Indigenous Student Committee, they're the ones that drive the direction of what is going to happen onto your campus. So that committee, I'm always looking for students to join us and come and volunteer your time and share with us what it is that you want to make your campus comfortable for you and as well as your peers. It's always important to make sure that we have cultural events to share with other non-Indigenous peoples so we can teach them and everybody can learn together in this safe atmosphere. Some of the other areas that I support students with is different kind of funding options. If you're not sure where to get funding from or where to even start with your funding, I know bands and funding agencies have a lot of resources, but sometimes if you miss cutoffs or you didn't get approved, you're wondering like, where do I get funding from? That's when you reach out to me and I can definitely like let you know what I have access to and we can start from there. I also work with the Lakeland College recruitment team, helping them deliver messages to local bands and First Nations and Métis communities to let those communities know what Lakeland College has to offer for high school students or even adult learners. We have a great variety of programs and courses here at Lakeland, and it's amazing what you would learn at like a mini open house session if I was to come out to your school to do a session like that specifically for your groups. So that's definitely something that I can set up for you. So I look forward to coming out to your community soon. I hope that you guys can just reach out to us and let us know how it is that we can help support you. I also have, on the Lloydminster campus, we have an Indigenous student lounge, which we have access to traditional medicines. And I also make that available for any student, either on the Lloyd or Vermilion campus. So if that's something that you're interested in, you're needing because you don't have that while you're at school, definitely reach out to me and I can make sure that you're getting what it is that you're needing. if anybody has any questions specifically about what other supports that I have within my role, feel free to reach out to me. All of our contact information will be shared with students who are joining us on this, this session. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. Next, on our list, we had Kim Derry, but I don't think she's here just yet. So can we keep going forward to Tammy to introduce yourself and what you do?
Hi, everyone. My name is Tammy Smith, and I am one of 2 accessibility advisors at Lakeland College. So I am on the Lloydminster campus, and Dale Pierce is the accessibility advisor on the Vermilion campus. The role of an accessibility advisor really is just to support students to be successful in their college experience. Our primary role is to support students who have identified barriers to academic success. And what I mean by that can be anything from having a learning disability to having a diagnosis of ADHD or a mental health diagnosis to having a physical disability or a chronic medical condition. So I like to list off everything because I don't like people to kind of weed themselves out. So those are some of the things that I've mentioned. But generally, if you are a student who has accessed accommodations in high school, like you got extra time for exams, or you had tutoring, or you had somebody write out your exams for you, or you had assistive software like a reading device, or a text reader, please make sure that when you come to the college that you seek me out or you seek Dale out and let us help you with kind of navigating what kind of things can be available for you at the college level. So one really important thing to remember is that the post-secondary system and the high school system are completely different systems. We report to different ministries, and because of that, we can't actually share information between ourselves. So throughout elementary school, junior high, high school, any of your student records would have been transferred up to your teachers as you went through each year. When you come to college, it doesn't work that way. Anything that you want the college to have, you have to share yourself. So if you've had an ed psych assessment, for example, I won't automatically get that from your high school teacher. You're going to need to bring that and give that to me. Okay. And most of the accommodations that students would have accessed in high school will likely be available to you in college. It will just look a bit different in how you access those accommodations. So in high school, I know lots of things happen really quite naturally. The teachers know what the accommodations are and they just make sure that they're put in place. If you get exam accommodations, the teachers just know and they send you down to a different room to write your exam maybe. In college, all of those things are going to be your responsibility. You're going to have to let us know that you have an exam coming up each time so that we can make sure that you get your accommodations. Okay. Another thing that I want to talk about is the peer tutoring program. So part of my role also includes coordinating peer tutors. So as students, all students at Lakeland College are eligible to receive up to 16 hours of free peer tutoring each semester. And you get that peer tutoring just by requesting it. If you need tutoring in a particular course that you're taking, you feel like you're struggling a little bit, you just put in a request and I connect with your instructors just to make sure that tutoring is the right pathway. It may mean the instructor might actually want to support you themselves, or the instructor may have other ideas. So we just kind of like to connect to make sure that we're giving you more of what you need. And then you have access, then for the most part, all students have access to that tutoring. The peer tutoring program also hires students to be tutors. So, if you choose to come here and you're doing really well in some of your courses, maybe you want to get paid to be a tutor and help some of your peers out. So I think that is everything that I can share in my 5 minutes of time, and I think I kept it under my time. If you have any questions, like Shelley said, all of our information will be posted after here, so you can email me privately. I know I typically don't get questions asked of me in a great big group, so I will be waiting for those to come in privately through email. Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you, Tammy. You did very well. Oh, I see. I think we'll just keep moving forward. So Karen, can you give us an introduction to yourself and what you do here on campus?
I'd love to give an introduction. My name is Karen Harris. I'm the learner success strategist here at the college, and no one knows what that means. So the easiest way to remember that is I'm a learning coach. And I work all the campuses, which means I'm in Vermilion, I'm in Lloyd, or I'm at Fire School. I'm kind of all over the place. Any student that comes into Lakeland has access to me. And so you've heard a lot about the supports and helps and that kind of stuff. I kind of am off to the side a little bit. I like to prefer the question, how? So I look at it this way: you're the why. Why are you coming? What are you thinking about? Where are you going with this stuff? What's your goals and that kind of stuff? And then there's the what. The instructors are the what. This is what you need to know. This is how you got to get it. Yada yada yada. On the how. How do you get that stuff in your head? And there's a transition that not a lot of people are aware of, and everybody hits. And it's a transition from going from high school or wherever walk of life that you're in, and then coming into post-secondary. And if that's the first time you've ever experienced coming into post-secondary, there's a bit of a wobble. And I consider a wobble is kind of like when a child is first learning how to ride a bike, and they get on the bike and they've got training wheels. And at first they don't have their balance. They're a little bit wobbly until they get their pedals going and everything gets going in a straight line. And once they get their speed up and you sort of get this figured out, then away they go. And that's what I really work with the most, is this wobble. And I'm coming at you from the position of a high school teacher. I spent many, many years as a high school math teacher, so I know that system really well. And there is, and I'll see if you guys agree with me or not, but in my thoughts, I think 80% of the learning in high school is on the teachers. We tell you what to do, when to do, where to do it, and how many times to do it. And that's when we set up the tests and all that kind of stuff. And that's what we're trained to do. And so that's high school. But in high school, 20% of the responsibility of learning really lands on you in sort of a very, very basic way. All you have to be is kind of there. If you're there and do what you're told, you get high school. Well, when you get into post-secondary, and it doesn't matter if it's Lakeland, where are you going? Anytime you pop it up a level, which is what you're doing, and get more specialized, then there's more demands of you. And the biggest transition you have to get through is this swap of the 80-20. So 80% of your learning in high school is on me as the teacher. When you come to post-secondary, no matter where it is, 80% of that learning goes on to you. And how do you do that? It's like riding a bike. It's a whole brand new set of skills. And a lot of times, the basic skill is figuring out how smart you are. And that's the role that I take. And I help you find out how you learn. So what's your sensory type? What's your personality type? What's your goals? Where are you going with this? How's your time management? And you'll hear overlap between all of us in this group. The counselors overlap with what I do a little bit. I'm not a counselor. Don't get me wrong. A lot of that is theirs. When I recommend people to Sarah all the time saying, okay, you need a little help in cooking. So off you go. Sarah's got a whole bunch of recipes. But when it comes to how do I take this next step and get into learning, that's where you come and see me. And that's why I think I have the best job in the college. I actually beat Tammy to the punch because we're always back and forth on who's got the best job. But I do have the best job in the college because I meet some really fascinating people. And I can't wait for you guys to get here so I can meet you. Tammy's just jumped in. She's shaking. But I beat her to it. So usually she trumps me because she goes ahead. But this time I got her. So we're really excited for you to be here. This this transition that I work with is absolutely fascinating. And like I said, there is overlap between us, but isn't that the beauty of the college? Because you came to get more information. And high school, it really doesn't matter what you did in high school. Yeah, it doesn't, because high school does what you needed to do. It gets you here. Now, when you get focused on what you want to do and where you want to do it, learning actually is a lot of fun. The college has got so many opportunities, and learning doesn't necessarily mean in the classroom. And that's where a lot of people get into a bit of a hook too. They think, as soon as they think learning, they put it in this box and they think only school. And I don't have that thought process. I think learning, you learn 24/7. You're always, always, always learning. And what most people don't realize is how they learn. And that's my advantage. I'm outside the picture frame. You're inside the picture. You can't see it. I can, because I'm outside, and I just reflect it back to you. Yes, online learning. Yeah, I'm not saying it's perfect. It's not. Is it impossible? Absolutely not. Do you already online learn? Absolutely you do. Have you ever Googled anything? Have you ever YouTubed anything? Of course you know how to learn. Of course you know how to learn online. What's happening to people is the setup. They're not setting themselves up for it well enough. And that's just the process of life. You have to be able to know how to set yourself up for success. And again, that's where I come in. I'm a coach. How do you set yourself up for success for this? Whether it be online, whether it be blended, whether it be labs, whether it be however, you instinctively know how to learn. It's just about getting organized and realizing what your strengths are. What works for you will not work for your buddy. You're two different people and your sensory types may be off. Most people don't even know what their sensory types are. And so I'm looking at the time. I already promised these guys that I wouldn't get on a roll, and I could feel myself getting on a roll, and the mute is going to come on to me really quick. So I'm just going to say I'm really excited for you guys to come. It's a great place. It's truly a great place. The team that I've got that work around me, I wouldn't trade for anybody. They're really good at what they do. And it is a team effort. And that's what the Lakeland's about. It's a team. And as we start moving through this, whichever member of the team you need, all you have to do is contact one of the team and we got you. We got your back. And heads up, we don't let you go. We just don't let you go. We're checking in on you all the time. We want not like a mom and dad. Don't get me wrong, not like a mom and dad, but as like a person that says, "Hey, coach, how you doing, girl? How's things going? You got it figured out?" And it'll be a yes or a no or I'm not sure, and we just kind of go from there. So welcome. We're glad you're here, and I promise that's it for me. I'm gone. See you. Bye. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget, at the end there is a phone number. It's my cell number, and it's the 808-9623. At any time, just text me and say, "Hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm thinking about coming to the college. I've got a question about this." And I might not know the answer, but I will sure ship you off to whoever needs to. So that number's at the end of the screen, I'm assuming, Sarah. So make sure that you write that down, because that's how students get a hold of me. They text me and we go from there. Okay, that's it. Promise. Gone. See ya.
Thank you, Karen. Yeah, we will all get our information into the chat, I think, so people have that. So moving on, we're going to hear from Ben, who's going to introduce us to our library services.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ben, and I work as the librarian here at the Lloydminster campus. I'm just going to give you a few kind of fun facts about our library, and then I'm going to actually, I'm doing this presentation from a laptop, so I'm actually going to carry the laptop around and show you a little bit about how our space is set up here on the Lloydminster campus. So for us as a library, we are we have those traditional books that people associate with a library. We have a collection on campus for our students to access. We have partnerships with other libraries, such as the University of Alberta, McEwen. And so if there's any resources that our students need that we don't have here on site, we can make requests and bring in items from other libraries, and that's just a free service for our students. But in addition, we have a lot of online resources. So those would be ebooks, audiobooks, academic articles that if any of you are going into the UT program here at Lakeland College, you'll be asked to use a lot of academic articles, and a lot of those are accessed online. So whether you're doing your courses here on site, or whether it's still in a situation where you're doing a lot of distance learning, we have a lot of resources for you to utilize. So I think what you'll find when you join us here at Lakeland is it's not a lack of resources. One of the challenges students have is identifying what are the best resources to use for their assignments. And so as a librarian, I come and do a lot of presentations in classes to provide training on what to look for when it comes to using the best type of resources, how to understand your assignments so that you're choosing books or articles that meet with your instructor's expectations. And I also work with students one-on-one. So I can set up appointments with students to meet with them in person or virtually, just to go over the assignment expectations and give them some guidance in terms of resources to use, as well as help with citation questions. So that's a big part of my job as well, is to help students learn how to communicate in their assignments about the resources they're using. So whether that's APA, whether that's MLA, whether that's Chicago style, I support students with that part of the writing as well. So we have a lot of resources. It's just about working with students to connect them to what they need. And I think from what we found here at Lakeland College, there's a lot of great opportunities for students to really build their skills in terms of doing research and writing, and particularly for students that go off to maybe their degrees at universities. You're going to be really well prepared if you come here at Lakeland College. And for students who are maybe not going to go and pursue a degree, we have a lot of other resources that are specific to the program. So for students that are maybe looking at doing power engineering, we have access to codes, to other resources that are specific to those programs. And so whatever you're studying, I'm a person. If you need information or a resource, come talk to me and I'll do my best to connect you with what the information you need and to help you build those skills so that you're able to find quality information and help you build those kind of lifelong skills, because needing good resources isn't something that stops when you graduate, but whether it's creating a business plan or seeking out a mortgage or learning, parenting strategies or whatever it is in terms of your life, being able to choose good information sources is kind of one of those lifelong skills. And I really want to be part of helping you develop those skills. Just kind of some things to keep in mind is during the fall and winter terms, our libraries are open at both the Vermilion and the Lakeland College, the Lloydminster campus. We're open 7 days a week. So between being a place where you can come on site and access services, or access our resources and our support online, there's a lot of ways that you can receive support as a Lakeland College student. And I just want to take a quick moment. I'm going to put up my mask and stop talking so that I can actually walk around the library and show you just some of the spaces and resources that are available for you to access here on campus. All right, so thanks for joining me on that. All right, so thanks for joining me on that tour. And you may have seen a desk at the very end, and that's our kind of our reception desk, our front desk here in the Commons. And so how we set things up here is that whether you're needing to come talk to me about resources, or whether you need to book an appointment for counseling, talk to Sarah about wellness stuff, meet with Karen, we kind of have a one-stop place for you to come into the library, come into the Learning Commons, and just ask whatever question you have, and we'll try to set you up with the person and the resources that you need. So we try to make it as simple and as straightforward as we can, because we know that there's a lot of information that our students are encountering and a lot of opportunities and programs and services. And so whatever we can do to make it easy for you to access. It's still going to be a lot of work to develop those new skills, but we want to make that as simple as possible. So please, yeah, when you join Lakeland College, please visit us here in the Commons. We'd love to see you, and we hope that it feels very cozy and homely, and that you feel comfortable here.
Thank you, Ben. And for the tour as well. It always helps to see. There's so many good places just to sit and work. So next we're going to hear from Lindsay, and she's going to talk about financial aid and awards.
Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to do a quick overview of what financial aid and awards is and kind of how we support students. Before I do that, and I will write it in the comments as well, but if you have any questions about financial aid and awards, so anything, questions about funding or are the awards program at Lakeland College or even external awards that you might have come across, you can email us at financialaid@lakelandcollege.ca. So financial aid, all one word, at lakelandcollege.ca. We have staff members at both campuses, Lloydminster campus and Vermilion campus, who can help with financial aid and award questions and supports. But just so you know too, we are very centralized in how we process things like award applications. So anything, any questions or applications that you have to submit will go through that financial aid at lakelandcollege.ca. And if you have questions, then we make sure somebody from the appropriate campus, appropriate office responds to your questions so that if you have follow-up, you can reach out to them too. So financial aid and awards, we deal with the funding side of things for students from the point at which they are accepted into their program of study, as well as the entrance awards, continuing awards, year-end awards for Lakeland College students. We, as an awards program, as an institution, last year we gave out over $1.3 million in award scholarships and bursaries to approximately 1,100 students. So we want to make sure that everybody is aware of what the processes are and where they can find that information to make sure they don't miss out on those opportunities as well. As an incoming student, if you choose to come to Lakeland College and you're accepted into your program, if you've never been to college before, you may not be aware of the student loan process if you're choosing to fund your education that way. So what some of the basic information you'll need to know is that if you're planning on applying for a government student loan, you do want to go to the provincial government student loan office where you reside. Even though you're coming to Lakeland College and we're located in Alberta, you still need to apply to the provincial government where you live. And we as an institution deal with all provinces in making sure we confirm student enrollment and request student loan funds and things like that. So we do work with provinces across the country, but you do have to apply through your provincial government. And the other important thing to know is that student loan applications, new student loan applications come out each academic year. So if you're planning to come to school in 21-22, you do have to wait for that application to come out. Each province is slightly different, but most applications come out late May, early June for the upcoming academic year. So you have to wait for that to be available. And all provinces now do their applications online. So that application process, some provinces will still have paper pieces that the institution has to support you with, but the actual application will be done online. On the funding side of the Lakeland College website, there are links to all provincial government student loan websites to find out more information about how your province administers their their student loan funding. As well as we also on our awards side of the website have all of our information to do with awards programs and how we offer our awards programs. As an incoming student to Lakeland College, the first opportunity you will have to apply for award scholarships or bursaries will be in March. So if you've been accepted by March or any time between March and May 1st, you will receive an invite to apply for entrance awards. So that is, right now, all of our stuff is being done electronically. So we will have an opportunity to complete that application, submit it in the springtime. And then once you start in Lakeland College in the fall, you'll have an opportunity to apply for bursaries, awards, and scholarships throughout the year. So lots of opportunity. Definitely encourage you to download the Lakeland College app on your cell phone. That is the best way to see any kind of updates about when we release applications for awards, scholarships, and bursaries, as well as if we have any information about governments wanting to let student loan holders have updates. We do post that on the app as well. So yeah, for sure, we want to get that information out to you. If you have questions about funding, we also deal with students who have sponsorships. So like Shelley was talking about with Indigenous sponsorships and funding in that respect, we do have a hand in that as well. So oftentimes we can provide you or lead you in the right direction with that as well. And also supports for students with learning disabilities or special needs. We have a hand in that in terms of government funding. So lots of different ways we can help you out, but reach out to us if you have any questions. Thanks.
Thank you, Lindsay. So we are going to open the chat to any questions that you might have. So feel free to type them in there, and we will get, I guess, the best person to answer them to do so. But while we're waiting for your questions, there was somebody who was unable to be here this morning with us, and that's Kim Derry, our nurse. So when you come to Lakeland, it's always can be difficult if you don't feel well, but we do have health services on both campus. So if you're not feeling well, you can actually talk to a registered nurse. She can also provide you with things like first aid, birth control counseling, immunizations. If you have an injury, she's definitely the person to go see, as well as like single dose, non-prescription medications. If you have a migraine, you're not feeling good, she can hook you up. As well, she does STI testing and female health exams. So just another really good service that's available. I'm not seeing any questions. I don't think, not yet. We have just a huge support system here at Lakeland. We have, just as you can see, a variety of people who are passionate about helping you be successful. So if you have a need, we will try to find a solution and help you out as well. So I don't think we have any questions. I see some typing. Does anybody have anything to add before we wrap it up? You're all sitting there quietly. Oh. Awesome. Thank you, Shelley, for adding our information. Okay, so if you look in the chat, these are our individual emails. So if you do have any questions, sometimes it's not easy to ask questions, especially out in the open. But if you have questions for any of us, please send us an email. We will be more than happy to connect with you. Thank you for joining us in this session, and we hope to see you around. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Goodbye. Hey, I think we're,
Just a few of us left.
yeah. So I just want to ask you guys while we're here, that was our first kick at the cat. I feel like I need to write something down to wrap it up because I'm just like,
Should I start the recording now?
Oh, yeah, thanks.